Alright, everyone, we are back with Liminal Horror Solo RPG Session 8. Last we left off, the gang was able to outmaneuver the creature in their car, making it to Iris's office downtown and finding their way into the Skyway, at least getting themselves off the ground and away from the creature. It is still out there. And we'll pick up where we left off, with them entering the Skyway and making their way from the downtown section where they're at to the border of Industrial. Okay, so first things first, I think we should test the scene. Let's do that. Oh, I bumped the chaos factor down. So wait. Let's see here. Set that there. Test the scene. I bumped us back down to 6. I felt like I didn't want to bring it all the way to 5. That didn't make sense to me, because there is still some danger, but 8 seemed extreme, and now they're at least in an enclosed space, so. A 10. Roll over. Okay, expected scene. Let's say test scene. A 10. Expected. Alright, so we're going to say that they are able to make their way through downtown towards the edge of Industrial. And they can see where the buildings sort of start to shift from like taller, skyscraper high-rise commercial buildings and offices to more like old warehouses, for lack of a better word, industrial buildings, old factories, stuff like that. The buildings are, shorter for sure, closer to the ground. Like, we'll say like 4 to 5 stories is like pretty high. That's on the high end for these buildings. Still high enough to where like skyways can connect to them. But that is kind of where the skyways like end, just because the industrial isn't really connected to like a whole lot of residential spaces. It's not needed. So I'll say that they get through most of downtown. Let's see. Well, first of all, hold on. They make to the final Skyway and arrive at the border to Industrial. Can they see the creature? We're gonna say, we'll say it's 50-50. They've gone in and out of a lot of buildings, so they haven't been able to keep like a constant eye on the creature, but they are walking through corridors that are comprised of essentially all glass in a floor. So we're going to check that out. We're going to see what the fate chart tells us. So 50-50 at 6. We need a 65 or under if they can see the creature. Oh boy. Okay, that is a 92. Oh, we're 2 away. 2 away from an extreme, no. 92, no. Okay, well then that will mean that they need to leave the Skyway with extreme caution, as if they wouldn't have anyways. But so they get to the last Skyway. It's in like an old like bank's office headquarters, like rarely visited these days after COVID and the pandemic and everything. People just didn't return to the office, and it's mostly abandoned at this point. The company still owns it, whatnot, but so they descend down the stairwell, and we'll say that they're able to like get to the entrance of the building, of like the bank's old building, and they get there, and because this is so late at night, they're not able to open it. Like, it's locked. It's got like, have you ever seen the things at like Target or whatever? They have those like locks at the top that you need like a key for. So it is locked at the top. The door is made of glass, but yeah, there's no real way to get through this door unless they want to shatter it. And I'm going to assume that none of them want to make that sort of noise. They are very close, though, to their destination. Let's see. Let's say like we'll roll a d4. No. We'll roll a d6. 1 to 2 is less than a mile. 3 to 4 is a mile to a mile and a half. And 5 to 6 is 2 miles. Okay, so they're like 2 miles from the apartment temple. All right. We'll say that I don't know if they want to break the glass or not. So there's got to be another entrance. Is there... Oh yeah, there's got to be like a freight entrance, I'm assuming. So they hunt around and they're able to get to sort of the back of the building. It's like where one of the cross streets sort of like butts up next to it. There's like a big garage, we'll say, like a loading bay almost. And it's got 3 like big garage doors. So they can't leave through the front. So they find the loading bay for deliveries. There's got to be one. And then I don't know. Are we thinking they can just? I mean, they find it. I'm assuming there's like buttons. Let's just say they open the doors. Open a bay door. So let's roll on some fate dice here and see, is anything outside waiting for them? No. Can they... Let's see. Can they... We'll say, can they depart undetected? It's late, and they're also leaving from, like, it's not, I don't know if this creature necessarily knows between front and rear entrances, but they are leaving from, like, if it was keeping eyes on them, it lost track of them as they navigated through the building to get to the back. They did just open a loading bay door, which did make some noise, but I'm going to say likely. Likely at Chaos Factor 6 is a 75 or lower. Okay. All right. So they get to. They head out the loading bay door. It does remain open, but they swing a left as they exit the building and start to head towards the apartment building. And we'll say they arrive at their destination. I think at this point, like, who had seen it first? It was, oh yeah, it was Chaz. So Chaz, he's seen the apartment complex. Something about it is like is sort of ringing a bell, or like sending these kind of waves of thoughts through his brain. Like he's flashing back to the vision that he saw when he held the egg, and he's seeing that room that he was in with the people inside of it, and he knows, he can feel it. He can feel that this is the place. Chaz. Well, how should we phrase that? Chaz experiences flashbacks from his vision. Alright, this is the place. Are they able to... It's still an apartment complex that's, like, actively lived in. Like, it's pretty old. It's shitty. Actually, you know what? No. It's available. It still has residents in it. We'll just say there's, like, okay, construction on the main floor. So I'm gonna say that they don't have it like propped open, but crews are walking in and out of the building. This is late as hell. Residents have been placed into temporary housing. Yeah, okay. So none of the tenants are here right now. It is an active apartment complex. None of the tenants are here because they are doing construction on it. So the crews are still this hour of night in and out. They're working on construction. And I'm going to say that they need to get in, obviously. At this point, I think that their plan, as they kind of go over it with each other, Todd is, we just need to get rid of this egg or whatever the fuck this thing is. I just want to be done with this. They're all pretty much in agreement. Chaz having kind of have seen glimpses, so he tells them, like, from what I saw, like, the room that these people were in, it didn't look finished, so I am gonna assume that this is in the basement. It would make sense, considering that's probably the only thing left of this temple if they have constructed something over top of it. So they need to get to the basement. They need to find the basement. Can they sneak in? Let's see. Okay, so it's construction crews. They're not police. I mean, they may have some, like, qualms with people walking in and out. But we'll see. So we'll say 50-50. What do the dice have to say? Oh shit, okay. 50-50 at 6. That's a 13. Damn, we're 2 away again from extreme yes. I'm going to say that they walk in with no issue. I'm going to say the construction crews probably just don't give a shit. I'm assuming they're used to the residents while they've been doing this construction coming in and out. It's not like the residents took everything from their apartment. Like, I'm sure that they have to come back for some things. So I mean, they're not police. They don't care. As long as these people aren't on their construction site, they're not that concerned about it. We'll say follow signage to stairwell. Basement is blocked by barriers. And then they climb over. We'll say it is dark and damp. It's dark and damp in the basement. And it smells of rot and sewage. I want to test this scene real quick. Are they exploring this? Or yeah, are they just gonna roll up to the spot and hunt around? I mean, what are they expecting to find here? So let's actually set out first like testing the scene, and we have to have some sort of expectation of what's going to happen. They expect to find some sort of nest within this this place, and they'll just return the egg and everything will be fine. That's what their expectation is. We got an 8. Roll over. Okay. 8. Expected. They wander the corridors and stumble upon a collapsed wall. An old door is exposed. We'll say it's unlocked. All right. So we'll say that they open it. They open this door, and inside is like sort of a round, like circular space with like a domed ceiling. Round space, domed ceiling, old temple. Yeah, so they walk into this space. They're seeing like markings, like not like carved into the wall, but like smeared onto the wall, like with some sort of. They could assume it's blood. It could be shit. It could be all manner of substances, but it looks like smears, but from the distance they're at, just walking in, like they have noticeable consistencies, like they are making out markings. And where sort of like the pews with like, there's like a walkway going straight down, and the pews sort of like curve out in a circular motion. There's like a central area where like the pews have been like shattered and smashed, and like the detritus has been kind of like pushed off to the side, and it's creating like a little circular area in the center of this room. And the like the stone tiled floors has been like cracked and like caved in, and from the distance that they're at, they can see that there's like a visible dip into the floor. And as they approach, they can see that there is like a pretty sizable hole in the floor, and the smell coming from the air moving up through this like whole tunnel in the ground is just like putrid. It's just like the most nauseating, sickening, stomach churning smell you could possibly imagine. It smells like death. Large crater and tunnel in the center of room, and they're looking at each other like, what do we do? Just he's completely fed up. Let's just fucking throw the thing down the hole. Whatever the fuck lives down there, it wants this back clearly. Let's just throw it down the fucking hole and let's leave. Please. For Christ's sake, Iris is like, I'm not leaving anything to chance. We need to finish this. I need to make sure this thing gets back to where it's supposed to go. Hell, I've got a lighter. We could burn this shit to the ground. We can run back up. We can grab construction materials. We'll do whatever we gotta do. We'll build a fucking fire, and we will burn this shit to the ground. Chaz, a little more like level-headed, still kind of dazed from like his flashbacks that he's experiencing, is sort of brings up to the party like, you guys don't have to come with me, but I'm gonna go down. I need to see if this is what I saw from earlier in the evening. And he's kind of like thumbing the egg, the stone, in his pocket. And it's doing something to him. He's like feeling drawn to this tunnel. We'll say Chaz experiencing draw to the tunnel. Fixated on the egg / stone. Let's see. Okay, so they're gonna go barely. He's not willing, but he's too fucking tired. And truly, I mean, just transparently, he's just too afraid to stay by himself. He knows that Iris is gonna follow Chaz, and fuck him if he's gonna get left here on his own. So Todd just agrees to go. Oops, they agree to descend. Alright. I think that's where we're gonna end this session. They got to the temple, and I think next session they're gonna get to explore these tunnels and find out what lives down here. Chaz is drawn to this area for some reason, and I think we're gonna find out why. Hopefully we find out why. I've got some like sort of suspicions in my head, but I don't really know where this is going. So roll the dice could send us in wildly different directions, but I think this is a good place to end this session, kind of on a cliffhanger. And when we come back, we'll crawl through the tunnels, baby. All right, y'all. I appreciate you hanging out, watching. Sorry if this is a shorter one. Maybe a little more uneventful than usual, but you know, they can't all be bangers. It's got to be a little bit of not really exposition, but like you gotta have a travel episode. You know what I mean? So yeah, they passed some tests and got where they needed to go. So I will see y'all next time. Appreciate you. Bye.